In John chapter 17 verse 17, John 17 verse 17, sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify myself. I set myself apart. I consecrate myself. I hold onto the cross. I bear the cross. For their sakes I sanctify myself, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. The word of God speaks often, very often, of sanctification because of its infinite value. This word of God, as we hold in our hands from Genesis to Revelation, speaks of this, not something like just a doctrine, but something we experience, something we possess. And the possession of that sanctification is greater and more profitable than the possession of all desirable things on the earth. Money, sanctification is greater. Property, sanctification is greater. Position, sanctification is greater. Titles, sanctification is greater. Family and marriage, sanctification is greater than all that. Political power and influence or affluence, all these cannot be compared with this Christian experience of sanctification. It is infinite, infinitely valuable, inestimable value it has. And when we possess, when we live in it, we're going to have what nothing else could give us. Tonight I'm talking to you on the great and infinite worth of sanctification. The great and infinite worth, infinite value of sanctification. As we look at Joshua chapter 3, I'm reading from verse 5. Joshua chapter 3, sanctification is valuable. Sanctification has a great worth and a great profit. It tells us in Joshua chapter 3 verse 5, and Joshua said unto the people, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Many people think that it's only to get to heaven, and that's why we need sanctification. We need to be holy so that we can get to heaven. That's true. But be above that or beyond that, before we get to that heaven, we need a lot of things here on earth. And sanctification is the roadmap. Sanctification is the express way for having all those things. Here it says, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Wonders will come upon your life. We're coming to Acts chapter 20. Acts chapter 20, and we're reading from verse 32. It says in verse 32, and now, brethren, I commend you to God and to the word of his grace, which is able to build you up and to give you an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. You see here, it's talking about inheritance. There's a kind of inheritance we have. There's a kind of possession we have from the hand of the Lord, which we cannot have until we're sanctified. And so Paul the apostle, by the Spirit of God, says, I'm committing you to God and to the word of his grace, and so that you'll be built up, and then you'll have an inheritance among all them which are sanctified. In 1 Timothy chapter 4, reading from verse 8, sanctification is essential, is important. Sanctification is profitable, not only to get to heaven, but even in this life it is profitable. We're coming to 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness, but holiness, but sanctification, But purity of heart, but a pure life is profitable unto all things, having the promise of the life that now is and of that which is to come. There are many things we have here on earth, very good things, important things, and things we cannot do without, that are only profitable on earth. You think about money, profitable on earth, not in heaven. You think about property, profitable on earth and not in heaven. You think about other things that we have, desirable things, wonderful things and good things. They're good for us here and we benefit from them here. But holiness goes beyond that. Sanctification goes beyond that. It is profitable here on earth and then profitable also in the life which is to come. As I said, we're talking about the great and infinite worth of sanctification.